Today we're going to talk about something that's a challenge for many classroom music teachers, and that's percussion evaluation. We're going to focus on snare drum, and there is no greater challenge than evaluating the performance of those very first lines in the method books that you're likely to give as tests for the whole class. Now at the beginning, they're playing quarter notes, and for a beginning trumpeter, that's a big deal. They're thinking about fingering, embouchure, brush support, the length of the quarter note. So it's a lot to think about just to get a sound, let alone hit the right note. And what does your percussionist have to do? They just have to semi-consciously drop the stick or mallet onto the drummer's xylophone bar, and they've got it. With almost no preparation at all, they can ace the test. How do you evaluate that? I suggest you approach testing with the goal of guiding your percussionists to playing with a good technique, actually shaping their technique. Set them off on the right foot technically so that they don't develop bad habits, and give them an understanding of how to approach more technically challenging music as it comes up. So you're not just going to show them how to hold the sticks, teach them how to count quarter notes, assign the test, and then mark it out of 10. I suggest you prepare 4 or 5 points, and right off the bat, you should focus on a good grip, hand position, and a relaxed stroke responsive to the rebound off the head. These are points that you want them to ingrain into their percussion technique. You should list them for your students, teach them, then evaluate them by assigning a percentage of the mark to each point. This way, every time they sit down to prepare for this test, they will have a focused practice session with absolutely clear goals. Now, if you need a deeper understanding, not only on how to play all the percussion instruments, but how to teach the percussion instruments in a classroom, you might want to consider consulting, no surprise here, my Band Teacher's Percussion Guide, Insights into Playing and Teaching Percussion from Oxford University Press. You can look over the guide at www.stuarthoffmanmusic.com, and you should be able to find it online wherever you live. You can check out the links below to help you out. Using snare drum as an example, you can review points about the grip, the position of the body and arms when standing at the drum, teaching a relaxed stroke, placement of the sticks on the drum, and so on. Throughout the book, you'll find boxes that list what to watch for and what to listen for, and these boxes alone should provide you plenty of points for your students to focus on for a test. So from the very beginning, let's say you give your percussionists 5 points to think about when they're practicing single strokes, which they'll apply to the test. At this point, focusing on grip, hand position, and a relaxed stroke, your list of points might be 1. Keep the hands fairly flat, like this, about an inch above the snare drum with the thumb at the side. And if the students are holding sticks like this, they'll naturally make this gentle V shape with their sticks. Number 2, you want them to practice dropping the stick onto the drum and lifting it off the drum in response to the rebound off the head. So you don't want them to practice playing like this. I call it hammering the stick into the drum. You want a gentle stroke, lifting the stick with your wrist and dropping it down and coming up with that rebound off the head. You want them to, in point number 3, keep the 3rd and 4th fingers under the stick, curved gently under the stick and supporting it so that they don't flare out when lifting the stick back. So you don't want this kind of motion. You want just keep the fingers under there supporting the stick. Means they don't have to squeeze the stick hard to keep it in their hand. Again, thumb at the side, and their upstroke will look like this. Not like this, with their fingers out. And you want them to lift and drop the sticks from the same height for an even sound. Of course, You get volume by dropping it from a higher or lower level. So depending on what volume they're playing, say they're about 6 inches above the drum, you want to make sure they're bringing it back and dropping it from the same height so that they get an even sound when they play. That's already a lot of information to absorb in practice, but our test could incorporate one more point. And I feel strongly that instilling a good sense of time and rhythm is really important from the start. So for the test, for any test for that matter, you might also have them play the quarter notes at both a quick and a slow tempo, maybe 60 and 90 on the metronome, with the goal of playing right with the metronome. So they should practice with it. And I do suggest that they start counting and playing with the metronome very early on. And I think you can use this concept with all your instrumentalists. Prepare a short list of technical points for evaluation, for example, for trumpets, ranging from holding the instrument, body position, sitting properly, breathing, intonation, as they play through a simple line. And of course, playing it at a specific metronome mark. Now, you'll find a link to a sample first snare drum test below. So I hope this has been helpful. If so, please check the like button and check out all my teaching percussion videos on my website or YouTube channel.